Have you ever wondered what really happens when you suddenly stop contacting a woman? Most men believe that silence means they've lost her forever, that pulling away will only push her into the arms of someone else. But that belief couldn't be further from the truth. In reality, silence is one of the most powerful tools you can use in relationships, because it shifts the dynamic completely. When you stop reaching out, you break her sense of control. At first, she may act like she doesn't care, but beneath the surface, curiosity and insecurity begin to grow. She starts to question why you've gone quiet, what you might be doing, and more importantly, who you might be with. That's when her emotions take over, and her actions reveal what she truly feels. In this breakdown, I'm going to show you the exact stages a woman goes through when you cut off contact, and why silence often makes her chase you harder than words ever could. Stage 1. She thinks you will come back. When you first stop contacting a woman, her immediate reaction is not panic, desperation, or even sadness. Instead, it's usually a calm assumption that your silence won't last long. Why? Because most men are predictable. They might try to pull away for a day or two, but sooner or later, they crack. They send a just checking in message, react to one of her posts, or find some excuse to reinitiate conversation. Women know this pattern very well, and because of that, your initial silence doesn't alarm her. It reassures her. She believes that you are simply playing a temporary game, and in her mind, she already knows the ending. You will crawl back. During this stage, she might even act indifferent. She will go about her life normally, not rushing to text or call you, because she's confident you'll reach out first. Sometimes, she may even brag to her friends that you're obsessed or that you can't stay away. This is her way of maintaining the upper hand in her social circle, reinforcing her belief that she's the prize and you are the pursuer. But here's the hidden truth. Her calmness is only surface level. Deep down, she is relying on a script she has seen many times before. She expects you to fail at keeping distance, because that's what most men do. If you break the silence too soon, you prove her right and confirm her sense of control. She wins. But if you remain quiet longer than expected, the script begins to fall apart. That's when the first seeds of curiosity are planted in her mind. It's important to understand that this first stage is deceptive. On the outside, it looks like she doesn't care at all, but inside, she has already placed a bet on your behavior. She's testing the strength of your resolve without even realizing it. Your silence is not yet powerful. It's only a potential threat. The true impact begins when her expectation of your return collides with the reality of your continued absence. That's when the shift starts, and her emotions begin to betray her calm exterior. Stage 2. Curiosity begins to take over. After some time passes and you still haven't reached out, her calm confidence begins to shift. The silence that once felt predictable now starts to feel strange. She thought you would crack within a day or two, but your continued absence plants the first seed of doubt. And with doubt comes curiosity. She starts to notice little details she ignored before. Did you view her story? Did you like someone else's post? Did you suddenly stop being active online? The smallest signals become magnified in her mind because she's trying to understand what changed. Why haven't you reached out yet? What are you doing? Who are you doing it with? This curiosity often manifests in subtle ways. She might stalk your social media more than usual, scrolling deeper into your recent activity. She might casually ask mutual friends about you, pretending it's not a big deal. Sometimes she even tests you by posting something designed to grab your attention. A selfie, a cryptic quote, or a memory she knows you'll recognize. Her goal isn't necessarily to reconnect, but to provoke a reaction, to confirm that you're still watching. What makes this stage powerful is that you no longer have to do anything. Your silence itself has turned into the trigger for her imagination. The human mind hates uncertainty, and when it can't get answers, it fills the gaps with assumptions. The more she wonders, the more her emotions get involved, because curiosity is never neutral. It's always charged with fear, insecurity, and the possibility of loss. If you break the silence during this stage, you cut the process short. You reward her curiosity by giving her the attention she was waiting for. But if you remain disciplined, curiosity will grow into something deeper, anxiety. And that anxiety will push her from passive observation into active pursuit. Stage 3. Fear and insecurity begin to surface. As curiosity grows unchecked, it eventually transforms into something much heavier: fear. At this point, the woman no longer wonders casually about your silence. She begins to feel it as a threat. Every additional day without a message, without a call, without a sign from you, chips away at the certainty she once had. This fear is not always dramatic. It often starts subtly. She may check her phone more often than usual, waiting for your name to appear. She may reread old conversations, searching for clues. Did you seem distant before? Did she say something wrong? The silence pushes her into self-analysis, and this is where insecurity creeps in. Instead of assuming that you're busy or distracted, she starts to worry that you're losing interest. Her thoughts begin to spiral. What if he's found someone else? What if I wasn't enough? What if I've already lost him and didn't even notice? These questions are not logical. They are emotional triggers. And once insecurity takes root, it is incredibly difficult for her to ignore. Even if she puts on a brave face to the outside world, inside she feels the sting of uncertainty. This stage is crucial because fear is what shifts her energy. Curiosity makes her watch you, but fear makes her act. No woman wants to feel replaced, forgotten, or discarded. So the silence that once seemed like a small inconvenience now becomes unbearable. It forces her to imagine a life without your attention, and that image frightens her more than she expected. For you, this is where discipline matters most. If you break the silence here, you validate her insecurity but remove its power. She will feel relieved, but she will also know that she never truly risked losing you. On the other hand, if you remain silent, the fear grows stronger. It doesn't just stay inside her. It motivates her to bridge the gap herself. That's when she starts reaching out because the pain of not knowing has become greater than the pride of staying quiet. Stage 4. She takes action to reconnect. When fear and insecurity grow too heavy to ignore, something shifts inside her. Curiosity only made her observe from a distance, but fear forces her to cross the line into action. This is the stage where silence begins to reverse the roles completely. You are no longer the pursuer, she is. At first, her actions may seem small and casual. She might send a harmless message like, "Hey, how have you been?" or comment on something lighthearted you once shared together. These gestures are her way of testing the waters, checking if you are still emotionally available. If you respond too quickly or too warmly, she feels instant relief, but she also regains her sense of control. That's why discipline is vital here. If you don't respond, or if you respond with minimal effort, her attempts escalate. She may start calling instead of texting, or sending longer, more emotional messages. Some women even resort to indirect moves, contacting your friends, accidentally running into you, or posting something clearly designed to trigger your reaction. All of these are signs that the silence has done its job. It has shifted the dynamic to the point where she can no longer ignore you. What's fascinating is that her actions are not always straightforward. Sometimes she will disguise her reach out as something casual, like asking a random question she could have Googled. Other times, she may act annoyed or even accuse you of ignoring her. But beneath that frustration lies one truth. She is investing energy again. She is chasing. For you, this stage is where your power is most obvious. Every move she makes to reconnect confirms that your silence forced her to step forward. The key is not to reward the first attempt immediately. By holding your ground just a little longer, you transform her initial effort into genuine pursuit. The more she has to invest, the more value she places on regaining your attention. This is the stage where silence turns into leverage. By doing nothing, you've created the conditions that make her do everything. Stage 5. She tests you. One last time. When a woman begins to reconnect after your silence, the story doesn't end there. In fact, this is often the most dangerous stage because now she wants to confirm something deeper. Whether your silence was real strength or just temporary stubbornness. To do this, she will test you. These tests can come in many forms. Sometimes they are subtle, like delaying her replies on purpose to see if you become impatient. Other times they are more direct. She might bring up another man to provoke jealousy, or act distant again to see if you will chase. What she's really asking is, has he truly changed the dynamic, or will he collapse the moment I push back? It's important to recognize these tests for what they are: defense mechanisms. Women use them not only to protect their pride, but also to measure your emotional strength. If you react with desperation, double texting, over-explaining, or trying to win her approval, you undo everything your silence achieved. She realizes your strength was temporary, and the power shifts back to her. But if you stay calm, unaffected, and consistent, the test backfires. Instead of proving that you're weak, you demonstrate that your silence was not an accident. It was a choice. This forces her to reevaluate her position. She can no longer see you as predictable or easy to control. And once that belief shatters, attraction often grows even stronger, because true desire is always linked to respect. At this stage, she may even feel conflicted. On one hand, she wanted to pull you back into your old role. On the other, your composure fascinates her. The more you pass these final tests, the more she invests emotionally, because she realizes she cannot manipulate you the way she once did. In many cases, this stage determines the outcome of the entire process. If you pass the test, you emerge as the man in control of the dynamic. If you fail, you return to chasing, and she knows she never truly risked losing you. Stage 6. The final outcome. Every silence eventually reaches a conclusion. By the time a woman has gone through curiosity, fear, action, and testing, the final stage arrives, the outcome. And in this stage, there are usually two possible endings, both of which work in your favor if you've maintained your discipline. In the first outcome, she surrenders her resistance and comes back with renewed effort. After realizing that her usual tactics no longer control you, she invests more genuinely in the connection. Her messages become warmer, her actions more consistent, and her attention more focused. She is no longer engaging out of habit or pride. She is engaging out of desire and respect. This is the point where she begins to see you as the man she must work to keep, not the man she can take for granted. In the second outcome, she chooses to walk away. At first glance, this might look like a loss, but it's not. If she leaves, It reveals that she was never willing to truly invest. Your silence simply exposed what was always true. She valued control more than connection. By holding your ground, you saved yourself from wasting time and energy on someone unwilling to meet you halfway. Either way, you win. If she comes back, the relationship dynamic shifts permanently in your favor. If she leaves, you gain clarity and freedom to focus on someone who truly values you. This is why silence is such a powerful strategy. It forces reality to reveal itself. What's most important in this stage is how you carry yourself. If she returns, don't immediately fall into old patterns of chasing. Maintain the balance of respect and independence that your silence established. If she disappears, accept it with strength, knowing that her exit is proof of your value, not a denial of it. In the end, silence is not about manipulation. It's about revelation. By saying nothing, you discover everything. In the end, silence is not weakness. It's one of the most powerful strategies you can use in relationships. By refusing to chase, you force the truth to surface. A woman will either invest in you with genuine effort or reveal that she was never worth your time. Both outcomes give you clarity and control. Remember, silence is not about games. It's about strength, discipline, and self-respect. The moment you stop running after someone, you discover who they really are and where you truly stand. If this breakdown gave you new insights, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Have you ever tried going silent? And what happened? Don't forget to hit the like button if you found this valuable. Share it with a friend who needs to hear this. And most importantly, subscribe to the channel for more straight-to-the-point strategies that will change the way you think about power and relationships. Your support helps me keep creating, and together, we'll keep uncovering the truths no one else dares to say.